Hello everyone, this is Cairuzah coming at you with another review, and today we're going to be reviewing another Bionicle mock, and today we're going to be reviewing a Kaita mock. If you don't know what a Kaita is, in the original Bionicle series, it was a combination of three of the Toa. The two main Kaita, or two official Kaita I guess, were Kairuzah and Akamai. And Kairuzah was made of Kopaka, Liwa, and Gali, while Akamai was made of Tahu, Onua, and Pohatu. So there's just your little background, I guess. And the Kaita had the combination of all those three Toa's powers each. So they were bigger and stronger, just better, I guess. And here's a Kaita right here. So this is a custom Kaita. This is not Kairuzah or Akamai. This is I haven't actually thought about his name yet. But this is definitely a Kaita. It is a combination of three Toa, no more and no less. I only used the pieces that came with the Toas, so don't worry about that. This is a purely 2015 Bionicle Kaita mock. Completely custom character in the Bionicle series. So here he is. He does not transform, unfortunately. While I was building, before I built him, I had intended for him to have a transformation feature, but didn't turn out that way so much. This dude, he's a pretty cool dude. I do very much like how it came out. I managed to get a few things I wanted in there. But yeah, so let's take a look at him, starting from the bottom up. So, moving on down. So here are his legs. And as you can see, they are triple jointed, like a beast leg. On the outside you have the gold and the white, as you can see. On the inside you have some silver, some red, and some Keat orange from Liwa and Tahu. Throughout this mock you can kind of tell, like on the legs right here and on the arms, there seems to be some kind of thing Liwa and Tahu have with Kopaka, where they try to keep him on the outside, or just away from kind of the inner workings, and that's definitely apparent on this mock. Like the side of the legs, the outside of the legs, the arms, and the side of the body all have Kopaka's parts on this. And I actually didn't really care about like separating out different elements. I mean, I kind of did, but I didn't. So colors be there, I guess. Anyway, probably should mention this. I did make this based on two other Kaita mocks I've seen by a dude named IxrolloutIx. You should definitely go check him out. He does like Bionicle reviews and stuff. So he built an Akamai and a Kairuzah, and those weren't completely his own creations, but after seeing those, it kind of made me want to build my own Kaita. When I first saw him, I only had two Toa, and now I have three, so which is why I built this. Anyway, yeah, so this is kind of based on those, and those are based on other things, but I'm not going to go into that here. I'll give the links for those two videos in the description. But in any case, this one actually isn't built exactly to match. I just took what I could see of the core construction and used that, and then built on it. So this is probably very much just my mock, so yeah. But anyway, moving on to the body. He is quite thickly built up in the body. As you can see, from front to back, it's pretty impressive, I guess. He does have quite a bit of stuff on him, because I was kind of trying to bring the body out and then keep it at a good position in terms of up and down. I actually should have mentioned, there is some gears down here that maybe you saw before. That's for a later function that I will show you just a little bit later. Anyway, so his body is pretty thickly built up. It has a thick core and it's definitely solid. Not really worried about anything falling off or falling apart, but I do think it's pretty cool. You have your little parts here. These are here just because this entire space here was empty, and that really looked terrible. I mean, these don't look that much better, but at least the space isn't actually empty anymore. So I decided to put these there just to fill that in. I have some nice armor. You can see there's quite a bit of Tahu going on here with the red and gold. A bit of Kopaka and some Liwa here with the greens. One thing that I did want to do on this mock, and I'll show you right now, is I kind of wanted to get this kind of spiky thing. This spiky thing. My inner child is coming out. Anyway, kind of like you know, like how, if you know Shadow the Hedgehog, when he curls up into his spin dash mode, there are like spikes that go out, like, you know, I think I guess you kind of get the point. Let me take this off so you could see what I'm talking about better. You know, like that, something like that, and it worked pretty well. At first, this was actually empty and was just the trans orange thing, but I wanted to put these somewhere, so I decided to put them up here. Doesn't take away too much from that specific look I wanted, but definitely makes things up here more bulky. With that said, there's not a whole lot running into a whole lot up here. I mean, the head is pretty good, the arms are good, the legs are good, not much running into other things. So that's good, so you don't have to worry about articulation. But let's move on to the arms, which simply are built with the gold paw piece, white armor add-on piece from Bionicle, and a 5-long gold piece, along with a silver hand. If only I had a gold hand, that would match perfectly, but I don't think they have gold hands yet. Maybe sometime. Anyway, his arm does have the Liwa arm piece, just to make it proportionally as long as it needs to be. And for some reason, this arm specifically, when I brought it up when he had the shield, it would just sag back down after a little bit of time. So I put friction extenders in both of his arms, as you can see here, so that he could hold his weapons. And they are kind of squeaky, as you can listen here. You can definitely hear they're squeaking around, which means at least they're doing their job, which is good, because I really don't want broken and useless friction extenders. But yeah, here's him from the side. Like I probably mentioned earlier, have some Kopaka on the sides. Why can't he just be the center of it all? Anyway, in the back you have this assembly that does not lock down onto the body. It just kind of, you can just pull it back, because it's attached down here at this open ball joint, so it can go forward and back a little bit. These chest plates up here, just some extra armor, and these little axe pieces just to fill out the back. I kind of wanted to use these as like a wing type of thing on him, and maybe have them like up here sticking out over his shoulders. That didn't work the way I wanted, so I decided to just do this. And that worked out just as well, because you could see it from the front. As you can see little hints of the axe. But I do still like it. It connects kind of oddly, maybe a little bit differently than you might expect. That's just because of how things don't come together. Do have these on here, and those can connect ball joints in the center, just because I originally had them on the trans blue leg piece down here, and those were up here, and I just didn't want to take them off because they're already built, and why would I want to take them off? So I just put those back up on here. They're just not really there for anything. These two technicals here can store his weapons when we look at those, and I'll show you. But yeah, he does have trans blue eyes, which is cool, and a Tahu mask. And yeah, that's Tahu, and that is specifically Tahu's face. But I had a trans blue eye stock and a trans green eye stock, so I decided to go with trans blue because I like it better. Plus, there is no transparent neon yellow, green, or whatever anywhere on this guy, so trans blue actually matched. When I get a trans orange eye stock, this guy probably won't be built, so that's not going to matter. Anyway, if you do have a transparent orange eye stock at this time and you decide to build this guy, if you can, I would definitely go with that, because there's actually more trans, well, not more trans orange, but there's trans orange on this guy too, so that would match just as well, and it wouldn't look like the official Tahu. And as you can see, I did use a golden Tahu mask. But I think that's all I have to say for now. So let's move on to articulation. So his legs can move, let's see if I can get this on the ball joint, move forward and back. Not out too much. But I accented this video because I have some things that are very similar to his mock. He has the same thing here with the double joints thing, I guess. My English 10 out of 10 grammar. Anyway, he has the 2 ball joints that connect to these 2 bones. He said that if this were able to go out farther, this guy may have stability issues. I'm not sure how accurate that is on this particular guy. I mean, he seems to be pretty stable. Just maybe some friction extenders in a few places might have helped. But anyway, let's actually angle it down and make it easier. He can go forward, back, can't go out, but he can go just a little bit, just to spread out his stance. Since he has triple joint, he can't really bend backwards in his normal stance, but he does have the forward. And this down here can go backwards. Not really much forward in normal stance, depends on how you have it. And you can kind of get a tilt if you move one bone up and one bone down, as you can see. So you can tilt it just a bit. You could twist it if you did it right. I mean, it's not really that hard. You just twist and then the bones adjust themselves. I'm not going to do that here because it's definitely a pain to get this back into a acceptable, good looking kind of pose, I guess. The feet can go forward and back. So pretty articulate in the legs. Some friction extenders may have helped in the ankles since constantly he's leaning forward at the ankles. So I have to press down on his feet and pull him back so that he can stand. The hips seem to be pretty good, except for the functions kind of making things loose. But I think having friction extenders in the ankles would have made this guy just a little better figure overall. Coming up here, the head is on a ball joint, but it's also on 2 friction extenders. I had his on 1 just to raise up the neck a little bit, but I don't really know how he constructed his, but mine needed 2, and since I used those tiny bones up here to make this assembly, I couldn't use that here. And you can see his chest is raised, it is pulled forward and up. But anyway, you can see 2 friction extenders. Adds a lot of friction, well, I guess not really any much more, but adds more friction to the neck, which can be annoying in some cases and may cause you to pop off the mask accidentally. But he really needs his neck extended, or else his face would be like tucked down here, like that, similarly, and that wouldn't look any good. But moving on, all this stuff can move, so you can adjust it to your liking and keep it in a good position. His arms can go up about this far. They can go forward and back, no problem. They can rotate, like I said, they're on the friction extender, so things are a bit tight. Got an elbow that can bend just slightly more than 90 degrees, and all the hand articulation that comes with these guys. So he's pretty articulate for this size. And how tall is he? Well, I actually measured him once I was done building him, and he turned out to be about 10 inches tall, which is like at least 2 heads taller than Tahu. But then again, when I compared him, Tahu wasn't standing fully up, so maybe like a head and a half taller. But yeah, I do very much like this guy. So for his weapons, what he has is an ice shield, not specifically Kopaka's ice shield, but is made with Kopaka's sword pieces, I guess, or shield pieces, just like this. And like I said, the weapons can store on the back, which is why this pin is here. He also has this flame sword, which I really like, made with one of Tahu's blades with the fire, gold blade here, and some fire down here. As you can see, I kind of separated the ice and the fire just because I wanted to. No jungle weapons because jungle is not an element. Anyway, no jungle weapons because I really didn't have many parts left over. So, yeah. So, as I said earlier, these can store on the back. It can be a little bit of a pain to get them on there, though. Mostly with the shield, I guess. So, you can just take this pin that's sticking out, and the sword goes on this side. So, you just pin it in there, like that. You put the shield over it, or the chest plate over it. Now, just hold there. And this is a little bit of a pain, because you have to get this right. You can just pin it in like this, and pull the shield, or this, gosh, it's a chest plate. Chest plates are not shields. Anyway, so there he is with his weapon on his back. Can't really see him from here. If you angle down, you can see him behind the legs. And if I turn around, you can totally see what it looks like on his back. And it looks pretty cool, you know, he has a weapon stored. IxrolloutIx, going back to his Kaita mock, said that it was kind of not really necessary to have a storage point for the weapons, because, well, the Kaita kind of a last ditch effort for him for the Toa. So that didn't make much sense for him, but I could do it. You know, I definitely had the possibility to do it here, so I was like, why not? I mean, who cares if it doesn't make sense? It's cool. Anyway, if you do have them stored down there, it's gonna hinder articulation with the blades because they won't be able to go back. Also, you won't be able to get access to the function back here. But anyway, let's actually pull these off of his back and give them to him. So, like I said, have a shield which goes in his left hand and connects with this blue peg right here to his hand. So there you go. So the shield has a little bit of wiggle room and can't turn very much, so it's pretty good. It's a pretty large shield. I think it's definitely appropriate for his size, as you can see. And now let's go ahead and grab his sword off his back. There we go. Now, when he has his sword stored, it's stored in a kind of specific way. This part is the bottom of the sword, and it just attaches to this little piece that can rotate around. So you just pull that off, and this piece will just be free spinning. Because, and then this piece comes off a lot for some reason. I don't know, these shield pieces tend to be kind of loose on this, like, everything. Don't really know why. Anyway, so this just kind of spins. It has an axle hole, as you would expect. So this is the top, this is the bottom. And so you're going to give it to him with the silver blade facing forward, like so. Like I said, the feet are kind of falling under me. And then you're going to put the spear tip on the bottom. And there you have the weapon. So I do like these weapons. I think they're really cool, and it's really awesome to pose them with them. He just looks awesome with these weapons. And I think I mentioned this in the beginning. He is the master of power, I think. He's the Kaita of power, I guess. Anyway, I chose that because I was kind of had Legend of Zelda on the brains, and if you aren't catching on already, what I mean is that there's a pattern that I see with all these Kaita. Because Akamai is the master of valor, which is kind of like courage. Wairu is the master of wisdom, which is kind of like wisdom. And this is the master of power. And if you haven't caught on yet, those are the kind of three symbols of the Triforce in Legend of Zelda. Courage, wisdom, and power. So since valor is kind of like power... since valor is kind of like courage, you know, that fits. So, master of power. I could change any time. I mean, I could... For a name for this guy, I really don't know. I'll have to think about that. I'll definitely have that thought of by the time I upload this, because it'd be kind of weird if I said Shadow Video Review Kaita. That'd be really lame. Anyway, so yeah, those are his weapons. I really do like them. They don't really weigh him down too much, especially since when we look at the functions, you'll see why. So back here, he has this yellow gear. Yellow because it's obvious. And we'd be lost without you, yellow gear. Anyway, his legs can swing and he can walk, just like the original Kaita could. This isn't really necessary. I just kind of did it because, I mean, why not? It's kind of fun. Does loosen the legs up here at the hips because, you know, they have the axis that they can spin on. These gears don't provide enough friction, but I think that this is pretty good, and it doesn't really make a whole lot of difference when you're standing him. Fortunately, do have some extra friction right here with this gear, these two gears down here, and that's about it. Now moving up to his arms, let's play with his gear function, the normal gear function. When I turn this, and nothing happens, because there is no arm gear function on this guy. You may be like, what? Where's the arm gear function? You should have included one. Shh. Anyway, I didn't do that because I really didn't have the pieces to make a substantial gear function. Well, if you saw one of my previous videos where I talked about how the gear functions were getting loose, well, because of that, I didn't have, well, let me actually say this, I didn't have enough space within this gearbox space to give it enough friction to be able to hold up. If I did, I would have given this one sword arm the gear function, because it doesn't really make much sense for the shield to be swinging. But I'd give this the gear function. But since those gears aren't giving enough friction, or the pins aren't giving enough friction, it wouldn't have worked. And so this sword would just be drooping on the ground. So I just left it at the leg gear function, and I'm pretty happy with it. You know, I do like this guy. I think he's really cool. I think he's really nice. You know. And I definitely hope that you guys like him. Yeah, that's about all I have to say for this guy. He's pretty cool. I do like him, and I still don't have anything for his name. So I will put that in the video title, definitely, so you'll know. And yeah. So thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe for more mock content. And I will see you guys, well, later. Just a quick add-on to the video. I have a name for this guy. I'm gonna call him Cairuzah, spelled with a C, and I'll spell that in the video description, of course. And I guess I should have mentioned earlier, he does have a personality, because that'd be really weird if he didn't. He's kind of a little bit arrogant, you know, knowing that he has a lot of power makes him kind of think that he can do things on his own. He doesn't really work well with a team. Yeah, so just a little add-on. So see you guys later.